Hi, folks, with Tacitus Today at your Pushback channel, and thank you for joining this audio radio live stream. In this essay, I'd like to talk about how the globalist media and entertainment empires aggressively, I would argue brutally, preventing white audiences from having white programs or majority white programs, as in the majority of the actors are white and so on. Now, as a kid growing up, I was quite used to having, seeing all white programs where all the people were white. Really America was the only sort of white country that had a sizable minority. I think at the time 12% or whatever it was. That was black and a relatively small Hispanic thing. So really, whether you looked at entertainment out of Canada or Britain or United States, Australia, and so on, it was pretty much all white. Now, you would sometimes have non-white characters in there, but it was. I didn't really care. It didn't make any difference to me. I remember one of the earliest work colleagues I had was Hong Kong Chinese, but he'd been born in Australia, and I didn't think or perceive him as being any different to anyone else. It was just how it was. So anyway, but of course today it's very different. If I look at any in Australia, any TV program now, white people are the minority, not the majority, even though they make up the majority of the population. They're now a minority in pretty much all shows, whether it be stage plays, movies. Now you might have the lead actor as a white person, but the cast will be heavily loaded with so-called minorities. The same goes for advertising. You'd be forgiven for thinking the population of Australia was maybe only 10 or 15% white. Maybe that's their target. Maybe that's the aspirational goal in the years to come. I don't doubt it is, actually. You'd be forgiven for thinking every relationship is, whether it be gay, lesbian, or straight, every relationship is mixed race, and you can have the mother, the father, and the child all of different races. I don't know how that works. Nothing like getting the representation in there. So it's rare now to see any couple of the same race. Well, that's not true. Any white couple. That's you might get a black couple or a brown couple or an Asian couple. That's okay. It's white couples that are not allowed. So you can see the very aggressive. They're sitting down in the Central Planning Bureau, the commissariat, and deciding what we're allowed to see, and if it's white or anything like that, if it's any place that if it's any entertainment that white people like or want to see, whether it's computer gaming or whatever, if it's anything at all where whites want to congregate, anything where white people may be able to find common cause, it comes under direct and vicious attack and is very well funded. It's attacked by governments, globalist organizations, NGOs, public services. They all go onto the attack. Any concentration of white people, be it religion or anything, must not be allowed. and got to wonder what it is. Why do they fear white people congregating so much? Any other group wants to congregate, whether it's Islamic marches about Palestine or something, that's fine. That can be allowed, even protected by the government. But white people getting together for any reason, and that's very quickly the media goes into high gear screaming Hitler. So I think we can accept, and it's no longer, or if it ever was, a matter for debate or discussion or supposed conspiracy theory. All the programs that I remember as a kid were all pretty much all white. Certainly shows made in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. You started to see a bit of difference in the 80s but today again, it's I can't think of an all-white couple, as in married couple type thing, that I've actually seen advertised or in any recently made program. Now, if you look at some of the programs made, whether they be TV programs, movies, whatever, they're made for the sole purpose of being propaganda, anti-white, propaganda delivery systems. That's all they are now. And they, they'll get hit. When you look at the Star Wars stuff, they'll hire, super low quality, incompetent, low IQ lesbians to make the show, and them you don't even need to give them directors, give them artistic license, and they'll just produce some anti-white propaganda bullshit. But it is possible, I think, to. There's a program that I saw. It's like a cop show type thing, and the lead actor's white, and he's actually quite a good actor. The script's not bad. His girlfriend's white, and that's a real rarity. But there's certainly a heavy. The main criminal is white male, and all the street criminals, all of them are white in this show. There's not a single black street criminal. All the senior managerial sort of people in governments and so on are all black, immaculately dressed, superbly well spoken, groomed with an inch of their life. I don't think I've ever seen black people looking that good. White people, by contrast, are represented as disheveled and so on. There's one where there's a black police officer who's supposed to be divorced, paying alimony and whatnot for three children, and he dresses immaculately with brand label clothes and lives. How he affords this, of course, that's not explained. But all the black people are very well spoken and well presented. Any white people in senior managerial roles are cast as devious, always evil, always plotting. They're incompetent, they're useless, and whereas the blacks are presented as being superbly professional and quite expert and technically genius and so on. So if there's they require a whiz-bang computer programmer who's the smartest of the smartest, then it'll be a black chick, with dreadlocks and so on. So you can see the representation in there, but can you make this representation work? Can it still be entertaining? I don't think a show I've seen where they do this anti-white stuff that the show's any good. It's not that I don't like the way the propaganda is shoveled at me and pushed at me, and the way it's so heavy-handed inserted, and the way they make white people look stupid and bad all the time. And why would I go and watch something like that? It's obviously not entertaining, but the story's lousy, the scripting's piss poor. The continuity is absolute nonsense, and so on. And so they fail at the entertainment. So just on is it possible to put together something that's entertaining and also ticks the diversity boxes? Because you can't really make a program now and get funding for it unless you do the diversity thing. It must be anti-white in its message. But can you tick the diversity boxes and not have an anti-white message, I guess, is this thing. So I saw this program, and again, the lead guy's white, the lead criminal's white, and the guy's girlfriend's white. So if you look at the amount of time of, say, an episode of 52 minutes, whatever it comes to, you look at the time it takes up. The white people are actually taking up 90% plus of the time. The minority groups, the black people, they get very short pieces, and their acting doesn't have to be good because they've got such a short time, and they can be quite stony faced and just deliver, in monotone, some lines that again, just a few lines, and it goes. And now the fact that they're there meant to be representing the CEO of the company or something, then that ticks the diversity box. We have to have black people in power positions and so on, and the criminals must be must be white. And but all the lead actors, again, the three primary actors are white. So the script's quite good. The continuity, pretty good. The overall plot, not bad. It works. But it doesn't look like they've inserted the minorities in there to make a political narrative point. they've been able to put them in there, albeit in minor irrelevant roles. And the white people still have 90% plus of the screen time, but they've been able to put it in such a way as it appears organic and natural. It looks like that this is how it is really. Now, of course, the reality in the real world is that all the white people dress badly and all the black people dress like they've been shopping on Rodeo Drive, shopping at the brand name boutiques, $10,000 suits, and so that's absurd. So they've reversed a lot of things. All the street criminals are white. Yeah, right. So they've reversed a lot of realities in order to tick the boxes, but it's at such background level. It's not germane to the story or the plot. They've put it in there to tick the boxes, not to push a message, and that does come across. So I'm finding that I can still be entertained, even though I can have a bit of a chortle to say all the black people are superbly well spoken and well dressed, while all the white people use the street talk vernacular. I can chortle a little bit at that and go, but there's not enough of it, and they're not pushing it at me hard. I've still got the white people still doing all the. Now, sure, the criminals are all white people, but some of them are actually quite good actors, or convincing enough at least, and their script is quite good. So I'm calling it is possible to do entertainment for white people. That they are prepared to watch, and there may be some subliminal propaganda effect that I'm going to somehow be converted into the view that all street criminals are white. But it is possible to have that entertainment. Now let's take the opposite, where they really go heavy-handed on the propaganda and the narrative. The minute I see it, I'm switching off. Not watching it. And so their propaganda delivery system thing falls flat, because I won't accept that. I don't like it being pushed at me. I don't like white people being deliberately made to look stupid. I don't like this huge reversal of all the reality I see around me, and have that pushed at me as some new propaganda reality just because it suits the activist and the World Economic Forum class of people. So I think it is possible to have some propaganda and have a program that's entertaining. I don't think it's easy, but really it comes back to the same thing that it always should come back to. It is entertainment. That means people want to watch it. They choose to watch it. They think it's engaging and entertaining. And bottom line is, you've got to have a good story and a decent script. That and decent acting. That's what's going to bring people to watch. And until you do that, you can't deliver any of your propaganda, because people just won't watch it. You've been on Tacitus today, your Pushback channel, and thank you for listening.